This for a treat. We're getting down to business one day early this week. Also going to do it again tomorrow. Cosmo Macero from O'Neill & Associates joining us live at our Beacon Hill studio. So much to talk about.
Hey, Mark.
Cosmo, let's start off with the housing market. New figures out say 6.3% was how home prices rose. Okay, now that's the highest level we've seen in, what, 6 years?
Yeah, it's a big increase. You know, inventory is actually at a 10-year low. It's a combination of factors here. Rents are increasing. That means renting is less of an option for people. Between inventory, rents, mortgages, mortgage rates at record lows, all those factors combined lead to an increase in demand and an increase in prices. It's affecting us very positively here in Massachusetts and around the country. I think all markets, out of 100 markets, only 17 saw price declines. It's real good news across the board for the housing market.
It certainly is. And for those who still may be struggling, some good news on the front, at least in the short term. And that's because Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae saying foreclosures, they're going to be delayed through the holidays. They realize people are struggling here.
Yeah, a number of banks did this last year. A little bit of a break with your mortgage payment during the holidays, not a bad thing. And offering those deferrals and payments, or in this case, a break on foreclosures, meaning they're not going to begin any foreclosures during that holiday season, is kind of a break. The reality is, though, January, February, March, they're back in business. So if you're going to be foreclosed on then, it doesn't affect you in any way. Also
interesting, car companies getting in the holiday spirit. I want to go through this because several of the giants said an extra $30, you can delay your December payment. Of course, they're going to get it back down the road. Pardon the pun. But talk about that one.
Yeah, you know, borrower beware. Deferred payment, again, around the holidays, that's nice. You're going to pay for it in the end. If it's a few months down the road, it's a little bit more money. If it's at the end of the loan, it's a considerable amount of more money on that payment. If the breather is worth it for you and is important during the holiday season, that's fine. But be aware, you're going to pay that down the road with more interest on the back end.
You know, some positive vibes. We just talked about many of them. And let's talk about the fiscal cliff if we can real quickly here, because, you know, we keep going with that countdown and you keep hearing both sides digging in. What are we going to look for over the next several days, you think?
I think the devil is in the details. With the Republicans, they say they have this $800 billion proposal, which the president has rejected. The question is, are things like that mortgage deduction, are things like the charitable deduction on the table by the Republicans, and yet they haven't disclosed that yet? I think there's going to be a battle there either way, and you know the housing industry, if that's on the table, is going to fight viciously. After all we've been through over the past 5 years, we've made this progress. You eliminate that deduction, you could really, really do damage.
I was going to say, I mean, you know, we have about 30 seconds here, but, you know, to go off the cliff and put us back into a recession, I mean, you got to think, even the people who aren't maybe the smartest among us down there in Congress can get this thing done. Yeah,
you know, I don't love making predictions. I've got no problem making this one. I really think there's going to be a resolution here, probably at the 11th hour, probably at 11:59:59 on that last day, because so much is at stake. I think right now we're seeing that political process of both sides positioning, angling, and battling. But we're going to see some kind of a resolution.
Boy, I hope you're right. I don't like the signs I've seen lately, but who knows? Maybe we'll get it done, and it'll be a happy new year. Hey, we'll see you again tomorrow, Cosmo. We appreciate it.
All right, Mark, thanks.
Maria.